Noah was talking about how like some doctors handpicked, God's like take care of my people and stuff. But there are some really dodgy doctors out there that have done some bad things and have lost their license. So I feel like sometimes some people are like, okay, I've got the brain. I've got the brains, like if I study for it, I can do it, but they don't really have the heart.
Yeah, that's
but that's because they walked away from the will of God.
He's coming back.
There's
lawyers do the same thing as well, where it's
Yeah.
like, obviously it's hard to be a lawyer, but then now you get into it now, it's like you don't have the heart for it. Like, hey, I feel like putting these people away, I'm finna do it.
Yo, on that, let's transition. We've been on this for a bit.
You good talk.
Lawyers. Do you think everybody, because everyone deserves equal representation, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the opportunity for representation.
Yeah.
Yeah? So that means crazy, violent murder case, everyone deserves to be represented. Even if it's like, this guy is full crazy, just slitted throats, done the wildest, all this kind of stuff, not remorseful, or they still deserve representation, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what our system believes. Do we believe that? Or do we just go, nah, just lock them up?
Oh, if they've done it wrong, lock them up. Yeah, if they've been, lock them up, bro.
But do they deserve the
What are we trying to
for a
prove?
lesser sentence and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like everyone's story got to be heard.
Yeah.
Like,
but I don't
and
really
everyone-
want to hear it.
Well, I'll hear it with earbuds on.
Yeah, honest, legit. It's like you still going to prison, buddy. Like,
you might go to prison, but then it's like,
Yeah.
at the same time, you just gotta. It's not fair to be like, hey, you did this, you get locked away.
Okay. Same.
Like-
All right. On that thing, lawyers that represent those people,
oofed.
do we side eye them?
Bro, you gotta
They're
have.
just doing their job.
'Cause
I don't
to be honest.
know,
At
bro.
the end of
But
the
where's-
day,
but-
they're
but-
doing
okay,
their
have you
job.
Are they
taken-
doing it just for money?
Yeah, like have you taken away your
heart?
human
Have you
your
sold
heart
your
out?
soul?
You know this person like went and killed like a whole family, or something like that, right?
Yeah,
And it's like
Because forget like where it's obvious the person's admitted everything.
Yeah.
Take stuff like Central Park 5
Yeah.
or the Exonerated 5.
Yeah.
I should say.
Yeah.
But it's like those people, they know they're wrong, but they fought for it.
still pushed the whole
And because there's enough doubt in people's minds, it went that way. But it's like,
That way, yeah.
are you wild for pushing that? I think you're wild.
Yeah, you'd have to be like you actually don't care about other people bro, at this point in time. That isn't like
And-
what do you want notoriety
Okay, and can a lawyer like that be trusted to be doing the right thing
in terms of
in terms of ethics? Because it's like, doesn't it feel unethical to defend a rapist?
already from the jump,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, and it's like, what are you doing now to prove the innocence or something like that, or to prove the fact that this person needs less? It's like the deed is done. It's like, what frame of thinking are you in to feel like you're justified by what you're trying to push? I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
In a case like that with the Exonerated 5, it is definitely hard to try and look at that person and be like, can I trust you to make the right decision, or, try and defend or stand up for someone, fight for someone and do the right thing? Why are you laughing?
My headphones are doing the lean back from this angle.
Oh, you can see
Does it look
that.
funny? Oh, okay.
They can't see it.
It's
Don't point it out. Let it be. Let
I
it
got
be.
something to add after
Go,
that.
go, go.
So I was gonna say, can you separate your values and your morals from your job, right? So this is what it is. It's the same as you being a doctor, and then now you have the chance to save this person that murdered a family. Now are you gonna say?
No, that's different. No, but that's a life.
No,
like I don't
but-
believe
Yeah,
anyone
yeah.
should.
But that's still a life. But that's still a life, though. You do what I'm saying.
But I don't believe they should die for that. Like that's why I don't stand for the death sentence,
penalty, yeah.
the death penalty.
agree.
I don't believe they should die for that.
Okay,
there should be a process of reformation because that is literally
we'll
what
take-
prison was meant to be, right?
Yeah.
It's wild to think that someone can go from that and completely reform, but it is actually literally possible. You know what I mean? So it's like I wouldn't like the doctor is the blanket statement. They're meant to save lives. I'm sure you can say blanket statement. A lawyer is meant to represent whoever, but it's like morally that's different. Like morally, you're actually standing for the wrong thing. As a doctor, morally, you're standing for the right thing. You're saving a life. You know what I mean?
Because your job is to make sure your patients don't die. That's it.
Yeah. But I feel like if you're gonna apply to one job, you also have to apply to.
Yeah,
No,
lawyer's
I'm-
job
I'm-
is to make sure your client doesn't get locked up.
Yeah,
or they
no,
get
no,
less
but I'm
lesser
speaking
of
from
a
the point of
sentence.
morals, because you asked, can you detach morals? I'm like, how can you detach your morals? Because your morals is you. If you're detaching your morals from your job,
That means you don't have
you
morals.
don't have morals. You don't stand for anything.
Yeah.
If you stand for something, wherever you are, you're gonna stand for it, right?
Yeah, but you gotta understand, it's like in some situations, like as a lawyer, that means that you be rejecting sometimes you might be rejecting
100%. But that's when you know you really stand for it. If you look, if your stance doesn't face adversity, you're never gonna know if you really believe it. In the time of adversity, if something like this happens, I need that. In the time of adversity, if this comes down to, like, there was the doctor that was it a doctor? Oh, a doctor that prayed or something for a patient, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I remember this.
they lost their thing, bro.
Their
Their
license.
license to, and it's like
That's
they were.
wild.
That's how you know someone really stands for what they believe in, because they're in the line of fire. They still stood for it, right? So when it comes to that, because we're speaking about if your morals, like, if can you separate your morals from your job? No, you can't, because your morals is you, and that's what you believe in, right? So as a lawyer, I don't think you're morally right if you want to be able to be defending the person who's clearly done something
Right.
wrong. But I wouldn't hold it against. Sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hold it against the doctor that wants to save a life of someone who's done something wrong, because morally they're still
I
right.
just want to save lives.
I'm still just saving a life. They're morally still
Okay.
correct.
But at the same time, we're gonna look a little, like, we have to look deep into it at the same time, right? Because you gotta understand that that's their job, and that brings down income, does this. So then now you are sometimes forced, in some situations, you are forced to put your morals on the side in order for you to do your job.
But that's
in
what
order
I'm
for-
saying. If it really is your
I don't-
morals,
I
you're
don't
not going
know.
to put it
So-
aside.
I don't think so, because that's the same thing people always use for like prostitutes, right? It's like, oh, she needs to help her family and stuff. And I get that can be a dire situation, but there's a lot of people out there with starving children, everything, and they don't prostitute their bodies because that's something they're not going to give
I
up.
agree on that one, but I'm talking about in terms of, it's like, if I keep rejecting cases, I don't have a home to live on anymore. I don't have shelter. I can't provide for my own family.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's when, it's hard sometimes.
So then I was like, like, it's bad because saying, oh, I could have made money if I represent this person. But in reality, yes, you could have actually made money. You could take your kid to one of the best schools. You can do this. You have to provide for your family now. You dig what I'm saying? So then I was like, are you willing to put your family at risk just because of your morals? That's the question now.
But then again, it becomes deeper than that, because it's like what you're instilling in your children, even in the moment of that. It's like that's
deeper than
powerful,
money.
bro. That's deeper than the situation. It's like, even at that point, at that level, like there's if you're able to become a lawyer in that, like, nation, like, there's gonna be another position, or like you can go and work at a
Forget
retail.
that. You also, all right, I push hard, I get this murderer free. And the guy's crazy, the girl's crazy, they're not remorseful, nothing. That's a community where my children live. There's a murderer that's free now because of me, in a community where my children, and other women live. What?
That's wild, bro.
That's crazy. Like, I think you're in a public job that is so
It's crazy. I
important to the safety of society.
it really is.
So it's like, you
But
can't-
does that happen though? Like,
Huh?
where a killer?
all right, this is what I wanted.
gets-
This is what I wanted to
yeah.
get on. OJ Simpson, right? So Robbie Kardashian, so Kim Kardashian's father, was his lawyer, as well as two other guys, and they were close friends as well, right? Now, he totally believed that, allegedly, while he was defending him, that OJ was innocent, fully innocent. Their relationship soured after he was found innocent, right? Like their personal friendship, all this stuff. Shortly before he passed away, he said, "Yeah, I think he was guilty." So I'm like, does that mean you thought he was guilty the whole time, and you just defended him because he was your buddy, or what? Because that, to me, is like, that was the other thing I was gonna go on. It's like, could you defend someone that you knew is guilty just for the sake of defending them? Because there's a difference also to go like, here's someone which is, 50-50 on it, but I'm going to take the case for money, for whatever.
But I mean, like, in that situation, it was a little bit different because now it's like they were friends in that.
But morals goes beyond friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, but because if one of my friends, murdered someone, it's like, all right, buddy.
Woo!
Like, you got to do time in jail.
I don't know, man.
You're not talking about children.
Hey, because look at
bro.
here.
Yeah, you're gonna allow someone that you believe is a murderer to be around your kids? You're not gonna be looking at them with side
But
eye?
he probably didn't come to that conclusion until after the case.
Yeah, no, but we're talking about like, let's say this is
let's
someone
say
that
Okay.
like you're gonna be looking at that person with side eye,
because
bro.
imagine it's like that was one of your homies.
Hey,
Yeah, because that's what it was though,
Hey.
right? This wasn't just you're my friend. I see you here and there. This is homies. You dig what I'm saying?
let's believe you
So
ain't
then
coming
now-
no cookout, bro. What you saying? What? Huh?
No,
Is that human meat? Bro, no, bro.
Not cutting the salad.
Yeah, bro.
Put the
What
knife down.
Put it down, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, if he asked me, if he turn around and is like, "Can you defend me?" Like, before I can even answer that,
I lost my voice. Sorry, man.
Lawyer?
what? Like,
Right.
I need you to tell me the full story and why you did that. You dig what I'm saying? And like, to be honest, you can't really justify after you do something like that. You can't really justify it. You dig what I'm saying? But I think sometimes the reason for why you felt like
Crikey.
that, right,
Aye.
kind of moves the person. It's like, okay, you feel what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
not. It's
yeah.
like when you hear the outcome, it sounds bad. I did this. You're a bad person.
Yeah.
Okay, but then now let me
There's
hear
context.
why you did. Yeah, put it in context now. Why'd you do it? How did it happen? And so on. Then now that in a way might change your mind in terms of are you gonna represent them or not. Now it's like, cool, you're guilty, but the way you did it, you're not a bad person. You dig what I'm saying?
All right, let's say they're just outright. Like it was just an outright, you know what I mean?
Just like
Just like, damn, that's
Road rage.
it's like,
I
damn,
killed him.
you look kind of good dead.
What?
I don't know how they think.
whoa.
I don't know what goes through their minds.
Okay.
You
People
know what I
like
mean?
that will usually be found, like, if they confess, then you're going to be found guilty and
But people's-
sentenced straight away.
I don't know if that's
You
how
don't
it
really
works.
get like a case. That's how it works,
In
isn't it?
Australia?
Usually with the justice system.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, you plead guilty,
and then-
you get sentence handed down to you, and you're
I
locked
mean,
up, and that's
depends
it.
on your
You
race.
can't really,
Honestly, sometimes,
you
yeah.
can't really fight it if you're like, I'm guilty, I killed the
You have
person.
mental issues.
That's what, bro. You know that meme?
the color grade?
Yeah. Yeah, mental issues. Nah, bro. I feel like I don't know, bro. I think they still get some defense,
I also
If
see
what?
it as
If they're
like,
guilty,
even if they
You
say
know.
it like plea deal and stuff like that.
yeah,
bro.
get a plea
Yeah,
deal.
there's still plea deals, bro. It's like the
A
dude
lot of
literally.
the time, though, for those things, lawyers like if it's high profile, a lawyer won't take it. Like for example, Nipsey Hussle's murder, like that lawyer took it up clearly just because it's clout. But a lot of the time, if it's like not a high profile case, it'll just be somebody from the state, like the
just
government, because you have to have representation, right?
See, yeah.
So it's like it's literally not. I think you can choose not to have representation, but
What represents yourself?
yeah, and it's not a good idea.
It's
You imagine they use one legal term, you're like, huh? Can we reschedule?
subpoena. What?
But
Yeah,
yeah,
but then, all right. So we were mentioning before, like prison is meant to help
rehabilitate.
rehabilitate
That's
someone,
the word, man.
right?
Said reform.
So someone, confesses to murder. Okay, but they
How do you
let's just
rehabilitate
say,
that?
yeah, not even that. It's just like, okay, and they're going to be handed down a sentence of like life, and you're a lawyer, right? And they tell you, hey, I committed this crime, I murdered someone, but I don't want to be in prison for life, and you truly believe in your heart that this person can be reformed. So it's like, now why would you not take up that case and try fight for them to get a lesser sentence?
that's what, because
you know
now,
what I mean?
Oh, but did you not hear the way you framed it? This person's like, yo, like that sounds.
Yeah, like-
that already sounds like the
Like
path
they
to
kind of
reformation.
thinking.
That already.
What?
But if it's like them,
Like, you know those crazy people
yeah,
that
that
like
smile in the courtroom.
yeah.
That's-
For example,
Wait, so are you saying those type of people can't be reformed as well?
hell no.
How do you know that? How can you see a person
I
and
think-
say you can't be rehabilitated through
I'm not.
prison?
But I'm saying I can see why there's a move in the like. Okay, let me kind of fight for you. It almost looks like they're on the path to reformation. Sure, you can't take everyone at face value, blah blah. But it's like I'm gonna. But if it's bro, if a guy's smiling,
Yeah,
in
that's
court,
scary.
he knows he like.
You
I
remember
can't
the-
with my whole clean conscience try to defend you, bro. That's scary to
You
me,
remember
bro.
the Charleston church shootings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy was not remorseful
Yeah,
whatsoever.
remember
Like
that.
he smiled in court, all that kind of stuff, and like crazy. And how old was he? 19 when he
yeah,
did
he
it?
was
something like
young.
that.
Yeah,
Like,
very
bro,
young.
if you're like that at 19, like, I mean, I believe in, heart change in Jesus' name, but you can have your heart changed in jail.
You can, yeah, you can, yeah.
Like,
bro.
you need to be locked away.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
you don't, frankly, you don't deserve the freedom.
Yeah,
that
because that's
everyone
what
else
you've
gets.
done with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At 19, and then to smile and go, no remorse.
That's scary, bro.
Or like, what's his name?
People are crazy, bro.
Nah,
George
look,
Zimmerman went on, like,
Yeah.
tour
Yeah.
signings and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Far out, bro.
Like,
Who the heck
you-
was asking for my guy's
there's
signature?
too many murders in
Hey.
America.
Yeah, it's
Because
wild,
look,
bro.
yeah, we were just talking about how a lawyer is defending a criminal and letting them go free. But at the same time, let's put a context where it's like, I will defend you so you can go free. But at the same time, I want you to do better. So I'm going to put you in this. I'm going to help you out as well. You feel what I'm saying?
But lawyers can't really go past that. You know what I mean?
No, but then now this is them going out of the way
I
to
don't,
make
can
connects.
they though? Are they allowed to?
They can make connects and be like, hey, look, I can just link you with this person. And then after that, this person will help you.
I don't
You-
think I'd want to stay in contact with no murderer if I set
Huh?
you free.
Yeah.
Nah, they're not staying in contact. It's just like,
you ever
okay,
need to
it's-
call me? Just
Nah, don't call
Bro, I
me or
gave you
whatever.
the work number.
What's it called? Don't they do
but
witness
like-
protection or something where it's like they fully change your look and everything?
Yeah.
Mm.
What
And
the
they
heck is
changed
that
it.
got to
But
do
that-
with that,
like-
bro? What do you mean?
Wasn't that what he's talking about?
Like,
Nah.
oh no, I'm not talking about that. Like, I don't know if they, I don't know if they can.
My guy, get him the cereal. Get him the cereal, please. Where is it, bro? This guy.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if they can do this, but I'm saying like, hey, cool. Now,
Yeah.
now you're free. Like, I want you to do better than that. So I'm gonna connect you with this person, and then you two this person will help you in that. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, because obviously the context that we put it in before just makes it look like if you accept this case, you're a bad person, or you gotta know how, you gotta know values, you gotta know morals. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then it's like, let's put it in a different context with now where you're freeing the criminal, but at the same time you're taking that extra step to make sure that they're also getting help.
Yeah, that's what.
So they
jail,
could go back
that's,
to the
that's
community.
that. That's that jail help, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what jail does. Hey,
Huh?
like, yeah.
But you feel what I'm saying though? Now it's like you can defend a criminal, but at the same time you are not just like, okay, cool, you're free, go.
But
You know
I
what I
know
mean?
damn well that ain't happening half the time. 70, 50, 80, 90% of the time. They get free and then it's like, all right, that's another one for the books.
I think that depends on your heart, man.
And then move on, bro.
Like that, I think something like that just depends on your heart.
mean,
where it's like,
I know I say all this, let them come out or get lesser time if they murder someone.
Oh, you're
blah,
for
blah,
the
blah,
death
but- No,
penalty.
listen, hold on. But listen, you can't just throw statements out like that and just not explain or give me time to explain. Thank you
For
very much.
everything.
hey, that's true,
Traffic
man.
fine, death penalty.
Hey, true,
But
man.
yeah,
You
no,
can't
like
do that.
if I see it in a point of view of like, if my family member or friend was like a victim, then it'd be a different story. Of course, I want them locked up for life, spend your life there for doing the crime.
Damn.
But yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. It's just tricky to me, because you don't want to see people rot away in prison because, like we said, there's something in everyone. I reckon there's something in everyone that can switch you to
has
change.
the potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has the potential to make you change. So
Yeah.
like, it's not really right to just because. See, once again, like it's hard. 'Cause, if you commit the crime, then definitely you should do the time. But it's like, not everyone deserves to be locked up for the rest of their life.
Yeah. Although I would say for stuff like violent murders and stuff, I think life in prison's okay.
Yeah, if you're out there smiling and not really
Yeah.
remorseful about it, then
You guys
No,
ever been
no
to jail?
pillow, huh?
You guys ever been to jail?
I want to go visit a prison. I really do. I really do.
Mm.
I've never
Yeah.
been to jail. Have you?
No.
Nah,
Sure.
but I really want to visit a prison, bro. Nah,
Yeah.
for real, man. I want to hear some stories, man.
Yeah.
yes.
I
I wanna-
keep
I
getting
wanna-
this feeling like I want to go pray for prisoners.
Honestly, man, I want to
That'd
go
be
talk
nice.
to some of these guys, bro. Like, things are crazy out here, and it's
Yeah.
like, I want to see the reformation in front of me.
Yeah.
I want to see that. It inspires me to be better every day. It's like this person has still found a way to now try to make the best of their situation. It's
I used to work at a factory, and like
Ugh.
all my coworkers are like, "Oh, this family member's been in prison. This family member's been in
Uh.
prison. This family member is in prison." And all this stuff. And I was like, "Yeah, You guys get down.
What were you making in this factory, dog? Bro,
What were you?
Laundry powder,
What,
allegedly.
what were you doing there? I
why
just want
would
to
you
know.
incriminate yourself?
What?
No, it's like no further questions, Your Honor. This guy.
It's actually scary to think that you could meet someone in the street, have
Didn't
a
I
normal
say that? Remember?
conversation,
Yeah.
and they
Did I
could have
remember?
been in prison.
Remember, I was like, you know what's messed up driving home at 2 a.m.? The scariest part about driving home at 2 a.m. is like the person driving next to you or just goes past you like,
What are you doing out here at 2 a.m.?
No, not even that, because I'm out. But it's like, damn, they just killed somebody.
Oh yeah,
Body
or
in
they
the
just
trunk.
did something.
Yep, body in
yeah.
the trunk. Oh, yep, just beat your wife at home. Now you're on your way to the mission. It's like, what the heck, bro? I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, everybody's wild out here. Yo, hey, but yeah, bro.
Do you guys have any family members that have been in prison?
No.
Nah, bro.
Nah.
Nah. Not that good. You?
Just one.
Really? You really, bro? That's good. Nah, but prison?
I think so, yeah.
Because it took me a while to realize prison and jail
For something bad,
is different.
like bad. Like everyone who goes to prison does something bad.
No,
but-
misunderstanding.
No said
Okay.
no further questions. He said no
I don't know
further.
if I can share that.
He said no further questions.
No further questions.
Impending investigation. No further questions. No further questions. Ah, man.
Many
No,
years
yeah.
ago.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, man.
Lucky, I'm keen to visit one too, man.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
be
Just want to
lit.
go hear some
I
stories.
wonder
and
how.
that.
I wonder, like, if you can just apply to, like,
I
or not
feel
apply,
like you
like,
might
but
be
you
able
can
to.
ring up and be like, hey, do you mind if I come in, speak to
Might be able to. Might have to do
somebody?
it.
Or
Might have to do it.
They were like,
I'm sure there's like some programs out there.
yeah, there
that
must
you
be,
can-
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been
true.
I've been to one with my school.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was actually
Yeah,
pretty
there's-
very interesting.
yeah, there's actually some programs you
Speak to
can do.
Back when you want to
Yeah.
be a lawyer and that.
Back when I wanted to be a lawyer.
Ha, was it
Fight
inspired
for
by
people's-
Suits?
No, actually.
I had a phase.
Yeah,
where I was like,
same.
I really want to be a lawyer.
Ah, man was about to Harvey it up in
and
there.
then the show got trashed, and I was like, I don't want to be a lawyer.
I don't need this no more.
Season 3
It's too
finished. I was
much.
like,
Oh, I need this no more.
But they showed only that like the cool stuff, man. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
And then all
bro,
that.
Meghan Markle became a princess.
Off that,
Yeah.
huh?
Off that.
What was that off that?
Oh, nah.
I mean,
probably not.
That's what made her
Nah,
famous.
trust. Yeah, the guy saw was like, yep, I want that.
I need that. I need that. I need that.
Called her and she left.
Nah, man. Carlos, I know you just said. But stay safe. I feel everybody
Yeah,
stay
hey.
safe out there,
Yeah.
man. You know what I mean?
It's
Look
a dangerous-
after yourselves and your loved ones and that.
It's a dangerous
Yeah,
world, bro. I'm
It's a
telling you,
dangerous,
man.
dangerous world out here, man.